Welcome back to another episode of the NG Siblings Stories podcast. You have Louise here.
And you have Chris.
You're meant to do the intro.
No, you are.
I did the last one. Doesn't matter. I've done it now. She did the
You
first one
did.
in the last recording, and then I did the second one.
I don't remember. Anyway, it doesn't matter. You've done it.
Doesn't matter. We've done
All
it.
right. All right. So what are we talking
Okay.
about?
So to start off today's episode, we will get into our dogs afterwards, but we've had a question come through from a guy called Stephen. And he asked, I think he must have heard from some part of our one of our episodes about our falling out. He asked, "Do you feel like your falling out brought you closer and more understanding of one another? And if so, do you both feel easier to talk to one another, as in bring up an issue bothering you?" So I guess he means if there's something annoying each other. Actually, this actually kind of came up the other day of us two.
Did it?
Of like, oh, what am I saying? So if something pisses us off about each other, we bring it up now and we don't get
Well,
butthurt about it.
yeah, and I think over time I've learned to throw out the "oh, I'm your big brother" kind of thing. Like I don't give a shit anymore. I'm just gonna treat you as a friend and be like, like
I noticed that.
yeah,
Yeah, you haven't done that
like
in a very long time.
so it's like I feel no, I think this is not just because of what happened between us. I think it's just for me from learning as you grow older, you learn more. And then I feel like, I told you, I think like last week or the week before, I was like, I might, when I meet new people, I might start off the conversation saying, you know what, whatever I say, I'm sorry for it, like because I
Yeah.
might offend you. So I'm like learning to not offend people. And I think this is related to the purple star constellation shit that I got read earlier, like 2 months ago, that he was
Yeah.
saying coming 2024, you need to really learn to filter what you say. And then I guess and then because of our shit that happened, and then I've learned to not give a shit in a way. Like there's things I don't know. I think maybe there will be a situation where I will be a big brother, but then I'm just gonna try and treat you as a friend, and then because then
Yeah.
I think that works better for our relationship.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, I agree. Um, I
Yeah.
don't know if like the falling out of us not speaking for so long brought us together per se. I think it was more that our dad did it that brought us back. But maybe we got closer because we've learned what you said. Like, don't take things
Yeah.
to heart too much. But it's hard because like we're brother and sister, so things get personal and it can be allowed to get personal because we're brother and sister.
Yeah, I guess the thing is, it's like what I mentioned earlier. I feel like, yeah, I don't know how to say it. Like you are your own person.
Yeah.
Like, and I guess I no, I think because of the distance as well. I think I did feel a sense of responsibility when you were in Hong Kong.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah,
And I was
because
so annoyed with that.
but why were you annoyed though? Isn't like because for me, I think as the eldest, I'm jealous in a way, or I envy you that you have someone older. Like, like if I had an elder brother or an elder sister, and like I could be like, hey, can I borrow some money? Not
You
just
borrowed
money.
money off me.
Yeah, because you know how to save
I didn't
money.
ask you.
Yeah, I know, because you know how to save money and I don't.
Yeah, that's
I've
true.
always been like, I like it, I buy it. Look at amount of shit around me. Why do you think I'm such a big
So you
blur?
want so you're envious to have to for me to have had you to help
Yeah.
me, but
Yeah.
you didn't feel like you had someone
Yes.
to ask for help.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
sad. You don't feel like that now because you're able to help yourself,
I
right?
mean, that was just money. Like that's just one topic. But there's other
Oh,
shit. Like,
okay.
I've no one to talk to about stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
Well,
anyway, yeah, I
okay.
think are we closer? I think we're always close. Maybe we are
Yeah,
closer
I think
now.
after our falling out, and then I think
Us,
after Hong Kong, like
both of us
last year.
maturing as
Yeah.
well. I mean, we've learned to deal with the shit and then sort of just openly talk about stuff. Or yeah, like as an example, what you had an example, right? You said something
Of what?
like how you noticed that I haven't been like a big brotherly, or how we can just openly talk about
Oh,
stuff.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't feel that pressure of you. That's because we don't live close
Uh,
anymore.
yeah. Are we done with the
Okay.
question from Stephen?
Yeah, yeah, I think so. Yeah. Thank you,
Yes.
Stephen, for sending your question. Um,
Yeah,
yeah,
hope
okay.
that answers it. And then, if you have any further
I
more, want to know more details, leave them under
yeah,
another comment.
I think we'll have a full episode about growing up and our relationship anyways on that. So we'll
Yeah.
go into more detail about it, I guess, because we can share our like dynamic in our family and being 7 year age gap and whatnot.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So back to the topic of this episode is our doggies.
Yeah.
I can say, speak for the both of us that we are both big dog lovers since birth,
Mm.
probably. Where do we start? From the very, very start, Harry.
Harry, the one you never met.
Yeah,
Yeah, he was
little
a
boxer
boxer.
boy.
Yeah, he was. So I remember when we first got him, and then he was obviously a puppy, and we kept him in the kitchen in Dagmar's house is basically our old house, right? So we kept him at the door, that sliding door to exit the kitchen to into the garden. I think the picture is actually him standing in front of that door. If you can find that picture later.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
upstairs in your old room. It's like
Yeah.
there's newspaper out and the little kennel.
Yeah. And I vaguely remember a lot of interaction because I was only like 6 or 7 back then. You weren't even born. So I was like maybe even 5.
Mm.
So I do
You
remember
were
though,
very small in the photos. You look like about 3 or 4.
maybe I was, but I do remember one memory. There was one memory. I remember it was like the weekend, and then Dad was sleeping, as he does all the time. And I went out, and I went into Harry's um what do you call it? He wasn't a cage. It was a proper house for him, like a dog. What do you
Oh,
call it? Like it was made of wood, and it's like slanted
like a
roof.
doghouse.
Doghouse. Yeah, it's okay. So it's actually just called a doghouse. I thought there was an actual term for it. Like,
I don't know.
so yeah,
It's just a shed, little dog shed. I don't
yeah.
know.
Yeah, I remember, and it has a sliding wood door, and there's a latch on it where, like, obviously from the outside you slide it and you latch it, and then it locks them in there. I remember I got into it, so yeah, maybe I was really young. And Dad came out looking for me, and I was inside with Harry, and he said, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "Playing with a dog," you know.
I
That
must
was
ask him if he remembers.
Yeah, that's one memory. Yeah, you need to record that, and then we can like
I
play
will.
it or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, that was one memory of Harry. The second was when our house got robbed.
Yeah.
So yeah, so our house was robbed, and then Dad was like, "Where the fuck's the dog?" And it was actually next door. It was in the garden next to us. And we were like, how the fuck did that happen? And like maybe like that's how useless he was.
That's how useless boxers are.
Yeah.
Depends.
Yeah. But well, obviously because the training we give to dogs is like for me it's like the simple sit, lay down, hands, all that. I guess Dad was the same, and also he was in work all the time. And
You
then I
probably
think,
only knew sit.
yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
And then I remember, do you know who White Guy is, right? Janet's,
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
So the memory is that I remember him and me going into the neighbor's house because we weren't close with that neighbor. It was like the house that was, so our old house was a semi-detached. So then it wasn't, for funny, like the reason it wasn't the neighbor that was attached to us, their house, because we were close to them. It was the house on the other side where like there was like what's it, the entrance to the garden from the
Fence.
side. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
the
yeah.
fence. So I remember walking in to that house with Waiko, and then he helped take Harry out.
Oh,
Yeah, so that was the only two memories I really have of him.
yeah.
Yeah,
Okay. But do you remember if the neighbor like knew he was in there?
don't remember any of that. That's yeah,
No.
no idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Wow. Okay.
And
That
then
was Harry.
fast forward, we had
Snowy.
Snowy. Yes.
Snowy was when I was in junior infant, so I was like four or
Hmm.
five, probably the same age when you had Harry.
Yeah, he was
Um,
so cool.
I love him. That's why he's the reason I got Nick, is
Yeah,
because I'm obsessed with Westies.
he's like I remember him just sort of sneaking out the gate and then he'll stroll around the town and he'd come back. He knows his way home. That's how cool it was, I think.
Yeah. And he'd just be waiting at the door when we got home from school, like the
Yeah,
front door. But it
yeah.
was back then you were allowed to let your, well, not allowed, but like your dogs were allowed to go out strolling around, straying, and no one would give a shit, and they just let
Mm.
the dog walk around. Nowadays, if you let your dog out, that dog be snatched up straight away, brought to the vets, probably been stolen.
Oh shit.
Yeah, yeah. So that was really cool. Yeah. He probably impregnated so many dogs.
It's shit how he went missing, I think. Like mom gave him away to some Chinese people and then
Yeah.
he got lost. Like he was
He
probably
probably
trying to
went
find his
to
way
come
home.
home.
Yeah.
Yeah, so sad.
Yeah, that's just like so I don't understand that about mom. Like, why does he allow dad to even get these dogs and then she gives them away?
So the thing is with Snowy, the this incident of why we had to get rid of him
Mm.
was we were away. I think it was the weekend when we went to visit meet mum's parents. Remember when I was talking about the last episode about being on the bus?
Okay.
I think that was
Yes, I
that
remember that.
weekend.
Yeah.
We were in the UK and Snowy was left out the back because Snowy was just an outdoor dog. He would just live outside and he'd come inside at night time to sleep.
Mm.
So that weekend we just left him outside and our auntie Iguma was meant to, or like that family was meant to come over and feed him. And then obviously he was probably barking in the nighttime
Oh,
and
the
was like,
noise
why am I not being
complaints.
left? Yeah, 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 yeah. So they complained about Snowy to the council and then we
Mm.
got a letter about it. And then obviously back then mum and dad didn't know what the fuck to do. So they were like, right, we need to get rid of the dog.
Mm.
That's why we got rid of Snowy.
Oh.
Yeah. Because she always says, like, if they never complained, we probably would have never gotten rid of him. Because he was the reason, like, after he was gone, the house was attempted burgle so many times.
Yeah.
That's why he was given away. Did you know that?
I
You
had
knew
no
that?
idea. No, I didn't.
Really?
Yeah, I had
Yeah, yeah,
no
that was the
idea.
reason. I remember getting that letter, and then so the people that lived behind the people, they still live there. I was in the same year as the guy,
No,
as
they only
in
moved
the
in.
family.
They only moved in when I was in
No,
like
but he
my
was.
different
It was
people.
them though.
No, no, different people.
Oh, really?
Yeah, different people. They only moved the what's her surname? I was in the same year as their sister, and she only moved in when we were in like third or fourth year, even.
Really?
Yeah, yeah, I'm pretty sure. So it was different people, definitely different people.
You think
Yeah,
so?
yeah, I'm pretty. Yeah.
And in Moiglair
Oh,
before
really?
they moved here. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And then
Oh,
she said that they followed him over,
oh,
basically. Yeah, 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 yeah.
oh. Maybe it is the same. I don't know. I'm pretty sure it was
I
different
think it
people.
is because I said it to him. So when Nick, don't be chewing on that bed. Don't do that. So you'd say. Um, yeah, well, I was telling her about the whole situation, and then she
Yeah.
was like, "Yeah, that sounds like them."
Oh shit.
So I think
Maybe
it
it
is them.
is.
Because so, anyways, I found out that he was my neighbor. He was our neighbor when I started going to secondary school, being in the mixed school then. And
Mm.
I was like, it was your parents, it was your mother that got rid of Snowy that caused my parents to have to get rid of Snowy, and he felt really bad because Mabel was barking at them after the fences were done,
Yeah.
and it was not in the middle of the night. It was maybe like 9 or 10 o'clock, and they were out in the garden as well, like near the fence. So it scared Mabel, and Mabel started barking, and she goes, "Shut up!" to Mabel.
Oh
Yeah,
shit.
yeah. So I think it was
Oh,
them.
baby.
Yeah.
Oh, there's just some people are just
Anyways,
fucking yeah.
yeah,
All right.
but
All right, Snowy and then Coco.
Coco was very short-lived in our house.
Yeah, but she saved you guys. I remember. That's the only story I remember. He's already moved away. Already moved
Yeah.
away. Yeah.
Yeah, actually. So
That's why you
Coco
got
was
the
our
new
Cocker
door.
Spaniel. Yeah. Coco
Hmm.
was our Cocker Spaniel for like what, 6 months?
I have no idea.
I
I was in
begged mum
university.
and dad. Yeah, I begged mum and dad for a dog. Nick, I'm gonna fucking kill him.
Just bring him into the. Okay.
So Coco, what year was it?
I don't know. I was in university, I think.
I think I was in like first or second year of secondary school.
I think it was the year before I went to UK for university. Because I remember I was at home on my computer. Because I remember what I remember vaguely about university is that when I left, my room got fucking demolished already. Like, it was changed up. But I remember I was in my room and dad comes home with like this fucking little tiny thing. It was like literally this big. I remember it was like a proper.
Coco,
Yeah, we got her really
I have
young.
photos. I have photos. This is how I can find out
Yeah, but
when it was because I put it on Facebook.
okay. Yeah, we got her. I think we she was only like 2 months old or 3 months even.
Yeah,
Even
yeah, probably 2 months.
yeah, because the
She
size of her,
was
like you could put her on my desk and like
she was the size of your foot.
yeah, basically, yes. That's how tiny she was.
Yeah, she was so cute. I taught her so many tricks. She
Did
was very
you?
smart. Yeah, yeah. I
Oh,
remember I taught her how to play dead, and I was like, oh my God, I'm only 13 years old, and I taught a dog how to play dead.
yeah. So who was next? Not the one you're holding.
Chess for you.
Chest for me, chest. Yeah, officially, yeah, chest. So he's asleep now, and I'm not gonna go wake him up because what
Let's just
time is it
have
for you?
photos. Oh my God, we haven't been doing that. It's 6 p.m.
Oh yeah, 2 a.m. for me. Yeah, fuck. We need to start doing these earlier.
Yeah.
Chess, he's 12 now. We
Well, it's now
adopted him.
it's a it's about the dogs that we got as adults now, which is
Yeah.
more fun.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I
So chess.
adopted Chess when he was 1.5 years old with my wife in Saigon outside McDonald's.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so you saw him. How did it work? It was like a Sunday, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Or a
So
Saturday?
yeah, it was definitely the weekend. And then he had a what do you call it? A banner or like
A badge, a
a
lanyard thing.
advertisement, yeah, lanyard thing, whatever. And it said like adopt me, and we were like, and then Heidi, for some reason, Heidi knew the adoption people, like the volunteers, or even they're like they bring all the puppies. Mostly it's like the Chinese. Um,
What what do you remember what rescue it was?
don't remember.
No.
Yeah, but the thing is, they had like a cage. They had like a fencing, and there's all puppies in there, and they're normally Chinese
Hongao.
mutts. Yeah, Tongao mutts,
Mongrels, yeah.
mongrels. Yeah,
Hong
and
Kong
then for some
mongrel.
reason there was one golden retriever. And then we played with it, and then we went home, and then that volunteer lady had Heidi's number because they know each other from probably like doing volunteer shit, right?
Yeah.
And then she called Heidi and was like, "Oh, do you mind what's the word, fostering him for a week or something?" Yeah, because basically we were in Saigon, and Saigon to Fanang is like a good 35-minute drive. And for us, it's okay because we grew up in cars, but for dogs, it's not like that, right? So
Especially in Hong Kong. All the
yeah,
windy roads to get to
yeah,
Saigon.
yeah. So basically, she was like called Heidi and was like, "Oh, do you mind fostering for a week? Because if we bring him back to Fanlang, where his owners were, for another week, and then we have to go pick him up again next week and drive him back here." And then his story was that the parents bought the dog for the child, but then the parents were going through a separation. and they just never really cared for him. And he was just always locked up in the bathroom. That's why he's so scared. He gets like he's so anxious all the time, and he gets scared really easily.
Yeah.
And we knew he didn't even get to walk much because when we went back out to pick him up to do the fostering for the week, we walked with him to the taxi station, and you know how the distance is from McDonald's in Saigon to the taxi station. It's like what
Yeah.
five, let's say
Less
five
than
minutes
five
walk.
minutes.
Yeah, let's say five
Yeah.
minutes. By the time we get halfway through the streets, he just sat there and he didn't want to walk.
Oh,
Yeah, he's just like, I don't want to move anymore. And then we looked at his paws, and then like they're peeling, like the skin,
oh
like
God.
yeah. So we know
Yeah.
it's like, oh, he mustn't like he didn't walk enough where they were rough for they're supposed to be rough. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and then we took him
Oh.
back. I think I have some pictures. I actually lost. I have actually. It's oh yeah, a picture of him and Nut looking at each other. It's really cool. Yeah,
Was the first time they met?
I think it
Or
was. I can't remember. I can't
yeah.
remember if that photo was the first time
Mm.
they met. But yeah, Heidi was really against it at the start because she had our Schnauzer Nut and also our American Akita Coffee. Again, I'll put pictures on, and basically, she didn't handle that very well because of when they were growing up. Nut bit Coffee when Coffee was a puppy, and then Coffee got bigger because he's an American Akita, and then he bit Nut back. Yeah, Nut had to go into surgery for
Yeah.
that. Yeah, that's why Heidi kept them separated, and also
Yeah,
the
yeah.
reason why Coffee was so independent and like a lone
That's just
wolf.
his breed as well.
So yeah, his breed is aggressive, but it really is how you treat the dog, I think.
Of course, yeah, but like
Yeah.
Akitas tend to be better on their own anyways as family pets, like a
Really?
single dog, yeah.
Oh, a single dog.
Majority of
Okay,
the
okay, yeah.
time, yeah, yeah, yeah. Majority of the time when we get um Akitas into
Mm,
work or like patients of ours, they're
yeah.
usually the only dog.
Oh, okay. Yeah, but
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I think if she handled it properly and like let Coffee socialize with people more instead of having him locked on the roof and the staircase area,
Yeah.
he would have been more friendly with people, and you wouldn't have that scar on your finger.
Yeah, still there. I still can't like fully bend my finger all the way back.
Oh,
It
like oh,
like it's stiff. I can't fully
oh,
push
there's
it back,
dead
yeah,
skin in
unlike this
there.
one where I can.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's Sch-
Chest.
Schnauzer, not yeah, Akita, Coffee, and then Chest, and then
I have questions about chest actually before we move on to this one.
okay,
Were you planning on getting another dog? Obviously, like Heidi was kind of scarred from the whole coffee and nut thing. So you only
was
just were just was meant to be only for 1 week and then you were like, fuck this, we want him.
yeah. I think
Yeah.
because I was there to handle the situation with her, and
Yeah.
basically we did it properly where we held on to Chest and then let Nut on it. They're both on leashes, and then they met like slowly, and we kept them on
Yeah.
leashes for like an hour or so, and then we decided to let them free. And then Nut, I guess because Chess is already massive, so Nut doesn't go attack him. And Chess
Yeah.
is it's a golden retriever. Like, come on, how aggressive are they?
Oh,
So
they can be aggressive.
yeah, but the situation Chess was in, the way he grew up, he's so
Yeah.
timid and like yeah, it's like so chill. Like he'd lay there and let Bobby climb on top of him.
Yeah.
And he just
Yeah.
doesn't move. He doesn't give a shit. He's like, fuck it, I just want
Mm.
rest.
He's such a good dog. Love him.
Yeah, yeah. He's
Mm.
12. He's 12. He just got turned 12 the last month.
Have you had him 10 years this year, right?
Basically, yeah. I've been with Heidi 10 years coming 2024. Yeah. Well, I mean we are in
Yeah.
2024, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
It's pretty insane.
Oh, wow. Okay. So then we go to Nick,
Yeah. Who's
who
next?
before Nick, I wanted to rescue a golden retriever as well. So I went there and I was like, I saw the golden retriever on your site. I want to adopt her if she's available still. And they were like, yeah, okay, you can meet her. And then they knew that I was not from Hong Kong or
That's
like
why. That's why they
is
didn't
new to
give
Hong
you.
Kong.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they wouldn't allow me to adopt her. Or actually no, they were like, "Oh, we actually have two other families that need to come see her. You
Mm,
can go look at the Tongao anyways first." And I was like, "Okay." Had a look. And at the time, because I wasn't working in veterinary yet in Hong
mm,
Kong, I didn't have much interest in Tongao, and I was like, this golden retriever needs a home. I'll take her today. Like I left the mountain, I climbed a mountain, like hiked up there to go to this
mm,
rescue, left, got the adoption fee from the ATM, went back up, and then they said that to me, and I was like, "Are you serious?"
mm.
So I was so upset, and then I text
Oh,
you, and you were like, "Come to Wongot. We're going to the
come
dog
nearby.
street, like the pet
Yeah.
shop street." Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
Oh, I don't remember that.
yeah, yeah. So I took a selfie in Wongot Station. Which one was it? Wongkok East. What's
Mm.
Wongot?
Yeah, Wong Got
What's the
Dong.
East? Yeah.
Dong. Yeah.
So I was in that station, and there was like a part. There's a structure above the near the escalator, and it says "sad" on it. So I took a selfie under that because I was sad after that.
Oh.
And you were like, "Just come to pet shops," and I was like, "Right, I'm on my way." I went there, and then we saw Nick, and I was like, "He's mine." I was like, as much as I'm against buying dogs from pet shops, especially the Hong Kong ones, I was
Mm.
like, I basically rescued him because he was like 6 months old and nobody wanted him and his price was half the amount that it was.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah. And I just knew I wanted him because it was Westy and he is my soul dog. Nick, come here. He doesn't want to come over, he's in his bed.
You need to grab him over though, or we just gonna post pictures.
We'll post pictures and I'll
Grab
come
him
back
over
over in a
before the end.
minute.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And then,
But yeah,
but he has a
had him
lot of
5 years
problems,
now.
right?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
because he's a Westie. Westies have skin problems.
So did you know
They
about this
could have
before you got into veterinary stuff? Because I didn't know Wesley said that many
no, no,
problems. Oh, really? It's
no,
just
definitely not. No.
oh,
Well, like, yeah, when I got into veterinary, then when I was in Hong Kong, all the Westies that came in had skin problems because of the weather in
oh,
Hong Kong. It's funny because
oh,
he has nothing to do with the weather. Well, it is environment, but not like humidity and stuff. It's more
yeah,
so grass and potentially
yeah.
food allergies. He has IBD.
I remember you
Um,
told me he's allergic to grass. Is it?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
crazy. A dog
So that
allergic. That's
only
like,
I was supposed because in Hong Kong he was never on grass. I think I brought
mm,
him to the race course in Satine once and he was fine because he was still young.
yeah, yeah.
And then he was in Ireland for 6 months and then it started. His allergies started then.
Oh
So we put
shit.
him on medication, like
Fuck.
daily medication.
Little she has hay fever.
I know, basically. Because yeah, this summer was the worst pollen
Yeah,
like thing in
yeah.
Ireland in a very long time. A
Hmm.
lot of people were like suffering from hay fever and he was really bad. Like he had just had issues with his IBD anyways, but then his
Yeah.
eyes were teary all the time. That's why
No
when you came
way.
over in August, remember he
It's
was like really
always like,
teary all the
yeah,
time.
yeah, yeah.
So
Always,
wet.
yeah.
He's better now because the summer's over finally, but yeah, he was really bad this summer. Had to get an ultrasound a few months ago because his liver enzymes were really high.
And he broke
He's
his
only
leg.
5. He
And he broke
didn't
his
actually
leg.
break
Oh,
it.
was it
He
not
didn't
broken?
break it fully. It was
Oh,
it was like questioned about
uh,
being broke,
okay.
but he was still limping on it when we didn't put a bandage on it. So
Yeah.
it was
Oh,
a potential fracture, but
yeah.
it we don't know for sure because X-rays can't really tell fully. It
Okay.
was more so the feeling it was cracking when we moved his foot, and
Yeah.
it's
Oh
not, it
my
shouldn't
God.
crack.
Oh shit.
Yeah. But we
Yeah.
haven't even x-rayed it again because of his liver being bad because we didn't want to sedate him again. So
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
he's just a bag of problems, but he's okay now. He's on new food.
Hmm.
Um, but he stinks of the food he's on. He's on hydrolyzed salmon now, and now he smells like
Oh.
salmon because mum dropped salmon oil on him.
Ah, that's
So yeah,
that's
yeah.
funny. Ah.
But that's him having five
So,
years.
but what's the lifespan of Westies?
I've heard of people having Westies until they're like 18,
Hmm. Yeah.
but typically like I think 12 to 15.
Okay. So for
Yeah,
Goldens, I remember reading about it is like 10 to 12 or 12 to
yeah, yeah.
14. Yeah. but I mean, yeah, it depends on how well what they eat growing up, I guess, and like what you
Just
do to prevent them. Like what's those? What's the thing? Like all like you said, all Westies have skin problems, so that's a genetic, the
not
genetic
all,
thing.
but
But
majority
oh,
of them,
okay.
yeah.
So a thing with golden retrievers, their genetic thing is their hip.
Yeah.
So
It's their large
now,
dog.
yeah, so now our staircase, we have all those barriers, so we don't want him walking up and down too much. So before
Yeah.
we let him walk, before obviously before we lived in well, like the top floor only, so he didn't really use stairs much, only when we take him out. And he's not really a dog that needs to let go of it, like release his energy. And he's like, obviously because we got him when he was like 1.5 years old, so he's all trained up already. And we fed him on the balcony. He would eat and then go walk to the side, pee and do his poo and all that, and then he'd come in. We'd wipe him, obviously, and then that was
Yeah.
like his routine. He ate and then he done his toilets needs.
Business. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
That's how I got Nick to start doing that because you guys did that. And I was like, I want to do that same routine of after he eats, he needs to go straight to the toilet. And he
But
does
you,
that now.
but you can't force them to do that, right? Like how I'm
No,
always curious how they train them to do that.
it's just a routine. Like as soon as you get them and you have that routine set in, you just keep doing it every day, every day. But Nick poos so much now in his new food. He shits about 4 or 5 times a day. It's so annoying. I don't
Well,
know how,
that
but
that was like gonna be the next thing where I talk about Bobby and say that I know he doesn't have a routine.
yeah.
Yeah. But
Okay.
before we do go into him, I mean, yeah, so I did do some research on like the golden retrievers and like their is it a genetic issue or like their common issues, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, they also have issues with skin because
Oh,
Chess has
and
like issues with his ear. That's
ears,
skin.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that's
He
his
is
part of
like
his skin. So
ears are always like they're always all golden retrievers, their ears are, how do you say it, flapping down or
floppy, yeah,
floppy, yeah.
floppy ears.
So they're covering up the ear holes and then like the heat and all that, especially the humidity in Hong Kong. Man, his
Yeah,
ears are so dirty. You need to clean it like 2, even 3 times a week. So like every
yeah,
second day you need to be wiping his ears just to make sure
yeah.
it doesn't get all clogged up and shit like that. And
Because the
then
skin is a part of their. So if they have ear issues, it's basically just skin issues as well.
mm, yeah.
But obviously, it's just contained into his ears.
Yeah, and you know when he's got an issue with his ear because when he starts shaking his head, you know that his ears are
Yeah.
itchy. Yeah.
Thank you for watching part one of our dog story. It's getting a bit long, so we're gonna cut it for now. And make sure to come back for part two when we discuss more doggies in our family between the both of us. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe and give us a follow on Instagram. Ask us questions if you have any questions about us, our dogs, our family, anything else you'd like to know about us. Let us know and we'll answer it in the next episode.
Cool. Awesome. Thanks,
Thanks so much
guys.
for watching.
And listening.
Bye. And listening. Yes.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.